Good wedding singer.
A few years ago, I checked out The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, and I was quite surprised how little I'd heard about it before watching it. Sandler had quite an unmatched run in the 90s with Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, and other flicks, of course. To me, his performance in The Wedding Singer is his third great dramatic performance, following Punch Drunk Love and, of course, his latest Uncut Gems. We all love him for his comedies, some more than others, but there's something very neat when an actor puts in a strong dramatic performance, seemingly out of nowhere. Because not everything is sunshine and rainbows, even though The Wedding Singer is. Now, this film's under the colors and cast of a typical goofball Sandler picture, but to me, this one has so much more heart and romance to it, plus a rocking soundtrack. So let's dial it back to 1998, and then dial it back again to 1985, and dust off the VHS of The Wedding Singer, or in this case, the Blu-ray. Because who has a VCR player anymore? Unironically. The Wedding Singer came out in 1998, starring Sandler and Barrymore, directed by Frank Coraci, who went on to do a plethora of Sandler and Kevin James pictures and even did Waterboy the same year that Wedding Singer came out. His last directed film was Hot Air. Starred Steve Coogan. It came out in 2018. You've never heard of it either? Okay. What about The Ridiculous Six? I know you've heard of that one, you silly Nilly. That's probably your favorite movie. The script is penned by Tim Herlihy, who is almost exclusively a Sandler screenplay writer. Carrie Fisher, Judd Apatow, and Sandler were said to have had some work on the script as well. The story follows Robbie, in 1985, a wedding cover band musician who's about to get married, but in the first act gets stood up by his bride-to-be. He strikes up a relationship with the wedding waitress, played by Barrymore, who also happens to be getting married, but to an absolute 80s dick. And, of course, a little romance kicks off, but the dramatic tension is neither can admit they are in love because of the situations that they're both in. The movie is filled wall to wall with 80s music, either in story or by Sandler doing the covers of them himself. We've got Journey, the Thompson Twins, The Cure, The Cars, Elvis Costello, all the way to Billy Idol. There are even some original songs that paved the way for my favorite scene and easily a standout in Sandler's career. Why do I feel like a news anchor today? What the? The film's hopelessly romantic, playing into the fun and the campiness of 80s movies. The main character is such an optimistic person, and the whole film feels bright, colorful, and easy breezy. Just look at the production design. I think it's safe to say that we're getting pretty tired of nostalgia bait properties, and this is interesting coming out in the late 90s before we all become obsessed with the decade. It doesn't come off as tired and shoot in. The 80s thing also isn't like a sad look at how good things were. And it's also not just, hey, remember this car? Hey, remember this song? Remember these clothes? That's just what the movie is. That doesn't call these things out. Like when the guy pulls up in a DeLorean for some reason. Her husband pulls up in a DeLorean at some point, and I feel like a Stranger Things would just like shoot that DeLorean like a car commercial, but no, it's just like in a wide. The DeLorean pulls up, and that's it. You know. The music was also just so much better in the 80s, so Maybe things were all better in the 80s, I don't know. I wasn't around, so. Sandler's not playing the fool for once. In the opening, when Steve Buscemi's character is making a fool of himself, Sandler's character actually tries to save the situation. It's safe to say that Adam Sandler and the way he plays the character is easily what keeps this film alive and makes it worth the rewatch. Sandler's performance seems much more relaxed than his more zany roles. It's much more aligned with his personal temperament, seemingly. That of a calm, more introverted and shy personality. And I think it works all the better for it. His character isn't outspoken, and it's really easy for the audience to sympathize with him. He's got a few classic Sandler bursts of rage and yelling, of course, yes. And some of the Sandler comedy still sneaks in with the over-the-top Buscemi cameo, grandmas, and trans jokes. The Cure-type song "Somebody Kill Me" is so beautiful and sad. I don't find a bit of it funny. The black and white contrast in the song fits perfectly. And sort of explains what Adam Sandler, as a character, as Adam Sandler, the character Adam Sandler, not Robbie, what he has become. Because in most of Sandler's interviews, it seems like he's more of a quiet, laid-back person. A lot of these interviews are more recent, so maybe that comes with older age, but his movies for 10 to 15 years were him playing the loud idiot. And it's nice to see a good marriage and the balance of the two. And this song puts his talents on display. And then John Lovitz almost ruins the whole scene. But there's comedy like this throughout, but the moments like this where they allow the characters to feel like crap and wallow in it without underlying it with a joke, even though they do still. The sadness in the scene still prevails. The John Lovitz weird joke doesn't ruin it for me. Sandler even uses his typical angry rage scream, and it matches the song perfectly, and it sounds amazing. It really is. The film is very obvious. You know exactly what's going to happen. Every nuance is gone. The back and forth of the will they, won't they is infuriating. The characters swing from high to low, always on opposite ends of one another, so they keep pulling apart as soon as the other one comes together. It's one of those films, if a person would stick around for 2 more seconds to let the other explain, it would all be over. But then, of course, we wouldn't have a movie. But we've been watching romantic comedies hold their disbelief for hundreds of years, and this is no different.
Build you a fire if the furnace breaks, so it could be so nice.
The cliche airplane ending scene isn't ideal, but I feel like they were maybe doing that on purpose a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them more the benefit of the doubt, but the ending is easily one of the cheesiest endings in all of film. Like that, to the point where it makes your stomach hurt. Like you eat so much cheese, it just gives you a stomach ache. Or maybe you're lactose intolerant. I don't know. It makes somebody lactose intolerant, I think. I still like it. I still like it. Sandler, he comes out playing a song over the intercom of the airplane. Yeah, why not? He's got a guitar somehow. The dickhead fiance gets some comeuppance, and all the random passengers on the plane, they all join in and partake in this guy's romance, because why not? It warms you up and makes you feel like everything's gonna be all right, because that's fun to think about sometimes. Listen, I know not everyone's going to call this Sandler's other dramatic performance. I keep saying that because really he's only done 2 in his whole career besides that, but to me it would be the exact reason why I would have cast him in Punch Drunk Love. The loud idiot has now turned into the lovable loser, and many times there are great instances of Robbie just being a good person, trying to help out some kids at a bar mitzvah get some cake.
May I have this dance?
If you saw this when it came out, like, what was your reaction to it? How did everyone else like the film? What was the initial reaction? I'm curious how it holds up for other people now. I was late to the game, obviously, and I've only seen it in the past few years, so is it up there with one of Sandler's best performances, or will it be forgotten? Alright, I'm gonna teleport back to modern times now. Just kidding, I'm gonna stay in the 80s. Alright, this has been Andrew. See ya.